Good afternoon. I'm Michael Meese, the president of Armed Forces Mutual, and I'm happy to be up here to speak to you before we formally open the meeting and have General Reimer open us up. I think it's particularly appropriate that we're meeting here at the National Museum of the United States Army. Let me first ask, how many of you before today had not been to the National Museum of the United States Army? Well, about half of you. It's great that you're here, and it's really great that you're here for the Armed Forces Mutual annual meeting. As you probably know, Armed Forces Mutual started shortly after the Battle of Little Bighorn. The history of Armed Forces Mutual is inextricably linked with the history of the United States Army, which, as you may have heard, is celebrating its 250th birthday this week. This museum is a great part of that celebration and honoring of the Army, and we hope that you'll take time to visit it after the meeting and in many other times. We're delighted to be hosted here by a good friend of mine and also an Armed Forces Mutual member for over 20 years, Brigadier General Bert Thompson. Bert, could you come up and welcome us to the museum?
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mike, for the kind introduction, and thank you for the invitation to speak today. So many familiar faces here, and 31 years of a lifetime of service, and to see you again here, some of those 30 years ago, is heartwarming to me. It's truly an honor to welcome all of you on behalf of the Army Historical Foundation and National Museum of the United States Army. Over the past 5 years, I've had the privilege of working with Mike Meese on various projects. I've seen his leadership and his team's dedication firsthand, and I can assure you, you're in capable and passionate hands. So thanks for the invitation, Mike. Much appreciated. When Mike invited me to speak today, I quickly agreed. Welcoming folks to the museum is kind of what I do. But when he added that General Reimer was going to be present, well, I kind of sat up in my chair a little bit more stiffly and straighter. And so I'm humbled and appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Army Historical Foundation and Museum to your team, your board, the members that are here at the National Museum of the United States Army today. And Mike said it, we encourage you to walk about. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And just to prove that it is indeed a small world, just a few weeks ago, while visiting West Point, I stayed in the Thayer Hotel. There across from the room was a photo of General Reimer and a plaque dedicating room number 538 in his honor. And sort of had I known that, I would have changed my room number and stayed in the room. Later that evening, after a grand tour of West Point grounds while sitting in the Patton Lounge for dinner, I was in a reflective mood. Might have had something to do with the spirits I was drinking, but I was in a reflective mood. And I started thinking about the leaders who helped shape my career. And so you're one of those leaders. As those of us who've worn the uniform know, leadership is a daily act of service. Often we don't realize the influence we may have had on others until much later in our lives. Your tenure as the Chief of Staff of the Army from 95 to 1999 was my time as a field grade officer in the 101st Airborne Division during a very high op-tempo year and series of years in complex peacekeeping missions, which included DMFO for me. Sir, you led from the front, and we followed your example. Later in my career, I came across your collected works. And one story you shared, and I've heard you talk about it in your works, stuck with me. And I'm going to quote you, sir, if you don't mind. I am reminded of a story from the U.S. 8th Infantry Division in World War II. In September 1944 on the Crozon Peninsula, German Major General Hermann Römke asked to discuss surrender terms with the American Army. General Römke was in his bunker. His staff brought the 8th Division Assistant Division Commander, Brigadier General Charles Canham, down the concrete stairway to the underground headquarters. Römke addressed Canham through his interpreter. He said, "I am to surrender to you. Let me see your credentials." Pointing to the American infantry crowding the dugout entrance, Canham replied, "These are my credentials." Sir, this became your creed, and that lesson has stuck with this Army forever. Our soldiers truly are our credentials. Now it's more important than it ever has been. Thank you for your continued service, not only to the Army and to the nation, but to this organization and for your legacy. We're also privileged to have General Erickson II, the 34th Chief of Staff. There's a pattern here. It's taken a lot of Chiefs of Staff to shape Bert. 34th Chief of Staff of the Army and our current Chairman of the Army Historical Foundation. He's with us today. His leadership shaped my time as a battalion commander in the division G3 of the 25th Infantry Division. As a matter of fact, sir, I'm sure you remember this. 24 years ago, in November, you visited the 25th Infantry Division. It was our division warfighter, and I was a battalion commander, and you gave us your leadership philosophy to the entire division leadership. It was in my little green book, the Right Brain book. This is 24 years old. In there, General Shinseki said two things that stuck to me and I never forgot even to this day. One is, it's your job to train the next leaders of the United States Army. Don't fail. And the other thing he said, you need to be ready. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And sir, I've never forgotten that, and I never will. It's an absolute honor to serve with you on the Army Historical Foundation Board. General Shinseki, General Reimer, I think y'all deserve a round of applause. Thank you very much. It's awesome to have two former chiefs of staff with us today, both still serving, both still making a huge difference for our Army and for our nation and their families. It's truly remarkable. You're both national treasures, and we're grateful to you. Our AFMA members, like these leaders, are patriots, they're veterans, they're warriors, and stewards of service. And AFMA has walked beside service members for over 146 years. Nearly the entire history of our Army. Their mission of protecting our financial well-being and empowering our future is one I value deeply. Personally, I've been a member of OAK for over 30 years, and yes, I even have a home mortgage with AFMA, and I got a really good rate. So I just want to thank you for the difference you've made in my life as an AFMA member. And I still somewhere, I'm sure, have that little safety security box with something in it. God only knows what's in there. But Mike, General Reimer, the AFMA team, thank you all for what you do every single day. And it's an honor to partner with you and to host your annual meeting here at the museum. When you did the raise of hands, there were quite a few hands. And 2 years ago, when you asked somebody if they'd been to the National Museum of the United States Army, maybe one or two would raise their hand. That's not acceptable. Now we're starting to see where 3/4 of the folks will raise their hand, and one day I want 100% of hands raised. That is the goal, and we're seeing that growth happen. I would surmise and be a good guesser to this, but by the end of 2026, we'll hit 1 million visitors. That's going to be a milestone for us. So proud of the museum, proud of the foundation for enabling that to happen. I encourage all of you to explore and come back here often. You can't get it done in one day. I can assure you of that. And this is a particularly exciting time for us. We're in execution mode, full execution mode right now for the 250th birthday and ramping up for the nation's 2026 semi-quincentennial. Say that 3 times, it's a mouthful. It's an important part of our history and period of our history. Last week we opened a powerful new exhibit, Call to Arms, the Soldier and the Revolutionary War. It highlights rare artifacts from the birth of our nation and Army, and it will run through 2027. It's a huge thanks to Paul Mirando and the museum curator and his staff for bringing history to life. And if you've not seen that exhibit on the 2nd floor, you must see it. It is beautiful. It's also humbling. We also hosted our first 6.14K Army birthday run, and that was on Sunday. We had 119 runners from all services. I'd like to report to General Shinseki, we were profitable, very profitable in that. And it was all services who ran that. So I saw you did the Army 10 miler. So now you got to do the 6.14, which we're going to be doing every year. Tomorrow evening, we're excited. We're hosting a Sounds of Service reception to help kick off this Army Birthday Week, featuring Rocky Lynn, who's an Army veteran, a musician, and a storyteller. And on 14 June, we'll be celebrating the Army's birthday right here at the National Museum of the United States Army. I can't think of a better venue than this to celebrate, and you get to avoid the massive crowds down on the Washington Mall and on the parade route. So feel free to join us here. Again, thanks for being here. Welcome to your annual meeting, and thank you for everything that you do to support the military community. I'll turn it back over to Mike and General Ryan. Happy birthday, Army. Cool.
Thank you very much, Bert. Now it's my honor to be able to call our chairman of our board of directors for the Armed Forces Mutual, General Dennis Reimer, to officially open our meeting.
Thanks, Mike.
First of all, let me just say thank you for that great
remarks that you made, and I would just simply say that it's a great facility. It took us a long time to get it. It was painful in many ways, but we got it, and we got the right guy in charge. Take care of it. Okay, let's get to the meeting. The meeting will come to order. Welcome to the 146th annual meeting of the Armed Forces Mutual. In the next 45 minutes or so, we will conduct the business of the association and inform you, our members, about the past year's results and current operations of Armed Forces Mutual. As we begin, please join me in recognizing our board of directors seated at the table before you. Will the directors in attendance please stand? Your board serves without compensation and works hard on our strategy, culture, succession planning, and policy. I want to recognize two members in particular who are completing their service on our board of directors. Brigadier General U.S. Air Force retired, Jonathan George, and Command Sergeant Major, U.S. Army retired, George Horvath, are both completing their time on our board. Their insights and contributions and leadership have been especially valuable over more than a decade. Please join me in thanking them for their service. We also recognize three special members attending the meeting today. Having become a member in 2024, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Choi is our youngest member in attendance. Charles, are you here?
I am.
Please stand. All right. Thank you very much. Lieutenant General Thomas McNary is our longest tenured member in attendance with over 65 years of service and loyal membership. Tom, thank you very much. Tom's a close personal friend of mine, and I went over to him and said, we both made it this far, we got to continue going. Lieutenant Colonel Stanley Johnson, at 92 years young, is our oldest member in attendance. Colonel Johnson, would you please stand? Great job. Congratulations, the Secretary has presented each of these members with a token of our appreciation. We are delighted to have all three of you and everyone else here present for this meeting. Let me also recognize, it's already been talked about, Rick and Patty Shinseki. Rick has been my battle buddy for a long time. He's also a former Chief of Staff and a former Secretary of Veterans Affairs. And we're also delighted to have his lovely wife, Patty. Would you two please stand? Last year's annual meeting was on 11 June 2024. The minutes were published and distributed to all members. If there is no objection, we will disperse with the meeting of the minutes. Do I hear a motion and a second to waive the reading of the minutes and approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So moved.
So moved. A second?
Second.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. It's my honor to address our members at this year's annual meeting and to update you on what Armed Forces Mutual, your organization, has been doing for you and for all of us members. We have a proud legacy of service that dates back to our founding over 146 years ago. When I joined our association, we were Army Mutual Aid. Then in 1987, we updated our name to Army and Air Force Mutual Aid Association. After incorporating the Sea Services, we changed our official name to the American Armed Forces Mutual Aid Association in 2013. For the past 12 years, we have been abbreviating that as AFMA, AAFMAA. We are now making another update on how we present ourselves. As you can see from the annual report in front of you and the banners around the hall, we are now using Armed Forces Mutual as we present ourselves to a new generation of service members from all services and components: active, reserve, National Guard, veterans, and their families. I think it's a great change that prepares us well for our future. Here at Armed Forces Mutual, we are dedicated to helping enable the financial security of the members of the military community, and we strive to do that better than any other organization. Our members count on us to always be there. We will always be there with the best and most cost-effective life insurance to protect your families throughout all stages of life. For younger service members, this includes term insurance that can continue well after they leave the military to protect their families, even when their SGLI ends or BGLI becomes extremely expensive. Other members rely on whole life products, including Generation Plus for children and grandchildren, Annuity Life and Wealth Builder to provide long-term savings, and other products for a lifetime of financial protection. That is why we've issued 5,400 new policies last year. I still have the $5,000 policy that I originally purchased in 1962 because I know that our association will be there for us when my family needs it the most. Not just my policy, but every one of our life insurance policy includes our exclusive survivor assistance service. That is a great service that we provide, and I urge everybody to take full advantage of that. Last year, our exceptional team provided superlative personal service at 1,431 family members of those who died during 2024. Our member benefits team helped over 183 members and their families receive over $1.6 million in benefits that they had earned throughout their military service. There is no other organization anywhere that provides this kind of compassionate, caring service to the families of during the most challenging times in their lives. We are also committed to being there when our members needed assistance with other big financial challenges well beyond life and service. AFMA Wealth Management and Trust, which is led by Steve Manel, provided keen financial insights and expertise for 280 members with over $213 million in assets. From comprehensive financial plans to proven investment strategies, our members trusted AFMA Wealth Management to always put their interests first. AFMA Mortgages Services, led by Jeff Havener, helped over 232 members borrow over $86 million to build new homes, buy a new home, or tap into the equity of an existing home. AMS has exceptional experience in VA mortgages, construction loans, and other products that are exclusively designed for the military and veterans. Over the past year, your board of directors worked on a continued implementation of our strategic plan. That plan builds on our unparalleled expertise in integrating military-related government benefits and services to better support our members. This includes improving the products and services that we provide and leveraging technology to more effectively communicate with the members of the total force, active duty, guard, and reserve, and to grow membership, especially with those that are just starting their military service. All of the work is built upon a strong financial foundation and our values-based culture of compassion, trust, protection, and innovation. We are fully committed to our success and most importantly, to caring for you and your families. The person who leads this staff in taking care of you is Brigadier General Retired Mike Meese, Armed Forces Mutual President. I now turn over to him to provide the President's report.
Thank you very much, General Reimer. As the President of American Armed Forces Mutual Aid Association, it's not merely my privilege, but my honor to address this annual meeting and share with you the remarkable journey of our association, a story of unwavering commitment, transformative growth, and visionary purpose that continues to unfold every day. As you'll see in the annual report before you, our theme this year resonates with both our storied past and our ambitious future. Legacy-driven, future-focused. This theme will guide my remarks today as we celebrate our extraordinary legacy, and then I'll ask our treasurer, Mark Mansoura, to present the treasurer's report, and then I'll come back and conclude on how your association is boldly charting the course ahead. Armed Forces Mutual stands as the longest-serving nonprofit association dedicated to protecting America's defenders throughout our nation's history. As I mentioned earlier, we began with the 7th Cavalry at the Battle of Little Bighorn. In 1879, our founding president, Roger Jones, created the Army Mutual Aid Association with a simple purpose: to serve our deceased members in a prompt, simple, and substantial way. From the rugged frontiers of the Old West to today's complex global battlefields, we have stood shoulder to shoulder with those facing extreme danger in the defense of freedom. As all of you know, none of our life insurance policies have any war clause, terrorism clause, or aviation exclusions, making them well suited for those who are going into battle. When we went through our archives, we found that General Pershing and General Marshall were both Army Mutual Aid Association members, but they didn't join when they were commissioned. They joined as they were going off to war. As a major, General Pershing got his as he was deploying to Cuba for the Spanish-American War, and also as a major, General Marshall got his just before heading into Europe as part of World War I. Our growth was admittedly measured during the first 100 years, serving exclusively Army officers. But like any great force, we evolved with purpose and expanded when we incorporated the Air Force officers and updated our name in 1987 to the Army and Air Force Mutual Aid Association. Yet even then, we were still providing only modest insurance policies to a fraction of America's military community. That changed dramatically in 1995, when we expanded to include non-commissioned officers, and then with probably the most significant decision, our board approved bringing soldiers from all ranks into then the Army and Air Force Mutual Aid Association. Just 1 year later, our nation faced the horrific attacks of 9/11. As brave men and women answered the call to serve, we stood ready. We expanded our coverage limits to provide individual members with up to $800,000 of term insurance and a total amount of insurance totaling $1 million of total assistance. Vital protection for families of those serving America's all-volunteer force. Let that sink in. Since 9/11, your association has paid out over $1 billion in death benefits, not as a charity, but as a mutual association, a brotherhood and sisterhood of service members taking care of each other, protecting families in their darkest hours when sacrifice became all too real. Recognizing the courage and commitment known no branch of service, we expanded to include the Sea Services, Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard in 2013, and became the American Armed Forces Mutual Aid Association. Yet we maintained our familiar acronym, AFMA, bridging our past and future with elegant simplicity. What we've learned in those past 146 years, in the past 12 years, is both humbling and inspiring. Everyone who discovers Armed Forces Mutual not only appreciates the work that we do, but they champion it. We have a 4.7 rating on Trustpilot with over 1,000 five-star reviews that speaks to the profound impact that we've had on the lives that we touch. But last year when our board commissioned us to take a look at what people think of AFMA, what we found was fascinating. While we were widely respected, many did not fully grasp our unique identity as a mutual aid association that was exclusively serving the military community. That's why, beginning with our 2024 annual report and this meeting, you'll see us embracing the heart of our name, Armed Forces Mutual. This powerful name reinforces our sacred mission, serving the armed forces through mutual support, military people helping other military people, veterans, and their families. The response to this has been overwhelmingly positive. And to answer the question that many people ask me, yes, you can make out your check to Armed Forces Mutual, AFMA, or our full legal name, American Armed Forces Mutual Aid Association. Throughout our journey from 1879 to today, we have never wavered from our essential purpose, to be there when families face their greatest challenges, providing not just insurance benefits, but ensuring that they receive every benefit that they have earned through their military service. Our survivor assistance services stand as a beacon of compassion, trust, and protection, a sacred promise kept to those who have given their all. Today, our mission resonates with clarity and purpose to ensure the financial security and independence of the American Armed Forces with insurance and other benefits. Just as we evolved from providing modest policies exclusively to officers to offering comprehensive coverage for all who serve, we recognize that truly supporting financial security and independence required us to take a look at other aspects of financial needs. That recognition led us in 2012 to establish AFMA Wealth Management Trust, a North Carolina chartered trust company delivering exceptional investment management, financial planning, and trust services. As fiduciaries, the AFMA Wealth Management and Trust team holds themselves to the highest ethical standard, placing your interests above all else, while providing meticulously customized wealth management solutions that seamlessly integrate with sophisticated financial expertise with deep military knowledge for the American Armed Forces members. And in 2016, we launched AFMA Mortgage Services, also headquartered in North Carolina, providing home mortgages, construction loans, and other home financing solutions tailored specifically for our members. Beyond competitive rates, our mortgage services provide something truly invaluable: personalized guidance from experienced military mortgage advisors who understand the unique challenges of military life and are passionately committed to excellence. A cornerstone of our legacy is the steadfast stewardship of our $1.2 billion in assets. Our diversified financial subsidiaries contribute tremendously to this mission, providing not just exceptional member service while guiding families toward financial security and independence, but they also operate profitably, strengthening Armed Forces Mutual as a whole, as you'll see in the Treasurer's report. Despite a strategic restructuring of our insurance investments that resulted in a net loss for Armed Forces Mutual this year, each subsidiary achieved positive net income. I'll now turn to Mark Matsura, our treasurer, to share the financial results.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, good afternoon, and welcome to our members joining us here today. I'm honored to present the 2024 Treasurer's Report. For 146 years, Armed Forces Mutual has been a pillar of financial security for military families, rooted in a tradition of compassion, trust, and protection. Since our founding in 1879, we've remained committed to protecting and empowering our members. While rooted in tradition, we focus on the future, expanding our offerings, embracing new technologies, and strengthening financial security for generations to come. At the end of 2024, Armed Forces Mutual held $1.3 billion in assets. Our investment portfolio, including fixed income, equities, mortgage loans, and real estate, is constructed for stability and sustainable growth. In 2024, these investments generated a net yield of 3.4%. We remain committed to a disciplined investment approach that returns value to our members and ensures our long-term solvency. In 2024, Armed Forces Mutual generated $88 million in total income, primarily from insurance premiums and investment returns. Our largest expense, $83 million in death benefits, reflects our unwavering commitment to military families and their loved ones. Armed Forces Mutual reported a net loss of $18 million in 2024, primarily due to a one-time investment loss taken to strategically reposition our portfolio for lasting growth. However, our net loss does not reflect the positive performance of our 3 subsidiaries that collectively generated $8 million in net income. We remain well capitalized and fully able to meet our future obligations to members. In 2025, we are pleased to offer crediting rates of up to 5.1% on our whole life products, including annuity life, wealth builder life insurance, and value-added whole life. These rates, set by the board of directors, are based on economic conditions, market dynamics, and the performance of our investments. Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, in conclusion, our financial position remains strong. Armed Forces Mutual continues to uphold its mission of ensuring the financial security and independence of the American Armed Forces community.
Thank you, Mark. We are intently focused on ensuring positive net income for Armed Forces Mutual in 2025, which brings me to the forward-looking vision that drives us every day. Armed Forces Mutual isn't just adapting to the challenging technology, financial, and competitive landscape. We're leading the way with bold innovations and unwavering commitment. Let me share with you some of the transformative steps that we're taking. First, we're engaging in high-impact, face-to-face connections that introduce Armed Forces Mutual to the next generation of military leaders, just as you saw in the opening video. As many of you joined when you were commissioned, we now meet with every Army officer candidate school class at Fort Benning, inspiring them to become members of our community. In fact, the first unveiling of Armed Forces Mutual name happened on the memorial path that all OCS candidates passed during their training. We are now connected with over 3,000 OCS graduates, 174 of whom have already gotten their Armed Forces Mutual policy. Thanks to our dedicated board member, Rodney Anderson. General Anderson helped set us up so that we were at the North Carolina Military Affairs Commission Defense Summit, connecting with leaders across the state, representing over 100,000 service members. And we've enthusiastically participated in events centered on the military, veterans, and their families, like Military Spouse Fest, Mil MoneyCon, and Soft Week. We recognize that working with partners who also serve the military and veterans communities is one of the best ways to get the word about Armed Forces Mutual, which is why we work with so many of the partners that you see featured on this slide, many of whom are here in the audience today. Well, what have these connections taught us? Today's service members hunger for trustworthy information from reliable sources. Armed Forces Mutual stands as the definitive expert in integrating military benefits and financial services, precisely what today's military members need. In a world drowning in information, we have been the beacon of trust and truth in this area. You can join us by simply scanning the QR code like the one that you see before you. We have welcomed over 7,000 individuals this way as Armed Forces Mutual subscribers, providing them with invaluable content, and we've inspired 456 of them to secure insurance policies with us through that educational medium. We've also embraced new technologies as a way to connect with the military community. This website is one of our leading websites, pages on our website that provides financial independence specifically tailored for people in their careers, whether they're military, veterans, transitioning, family members, or others. We continually update content on this page, and later this year we'll unveil an entirely new website that will seamlessly integrate all of our resources and elevate the member experience to a new level of ease and convenience. In recent years, insurance technology has advanced at a breathtaking speed. Earlier this year, Armed Forces Mutual implemented a cutting-edge insurance technology and platform for applications and underwriting that dramatically improves the ease of policy completion and accelerates policy issuance. By harnessing AI, big data, and sophisticated technology, always with appropriate safeguards, we've slashed the time that it takes to issue a life insurance policy from weeks to days, and in some remarkable cases, just hours. Understanding that our younger members, while still seeking reliable information, prefer to consume it through bite-sized, on-demand video, our team has embraced this medium with enthusiasm. They've even convinced me to participate, proving that while our approach may be innovative, the reliable information is what's important and that our members can count on, as you'll see in this video, which is one of the more popular ones on the website.
Mike, I need intel. A member needs to know, BAH, rent or buy?
Well, the answer to that question is, first you need to realize that BAH is tied to your location and your rent. And it doesn't go up or down based upon the house that you're in. So be sure if you're renting or you're buying, you're not getting something too big that is substantially more than your BAH. If it's less than your BAH, you can pocket the difference. Finally, whether you're going to rent or you're going to buy, you need to think carefully about whether or not you want that investment in the home, which can be pretty expensive and really only pays off if you're going to be there for 3 or more years. And sometimes in the military you're able to do that, but it really is a little bit of a constraint. So think very, very seriously before you decide to buy. Renting for most people is what most people in the military do, especially in the younger grades.
Believe it or not, that's the kind of thing that people want to consume today, and important is getting the facts to them so that they understand that Armed Forces Mutual is the source of this kind of knowledge. What draws members to Armed Forces Mutual? They cherish our exceptional personal service. They trust us to protect their families with unbeatable value in insurance throughout their lives, and they want to be part of an organization with unmatched expertise in military benefits. And they believe in our unwavering commitment to caring for the families of military members and veterans when they face their greatest loss. As members of Armed Forces Mutual, you play a vital role in ensuring that our association remains strong for generations to come. To help us help you and your fellow military community members, I want you to consider 2 simple but powerful actions today. First, update your file. Every Armed Forces Mutual member, from our newest enlistee to our most senior member, has a personalized record, and you should have all of your documents in the digital vault updated to ensure that we can help you and your family at any time. Second, share your Armed Forces Mutual story. While our marketing team is very good, nothing compares to the power of a recommendation from a trusted existing member. Tell your military friends about Armed Forces Mutual, and remember that your children at any age and your grandchildren up to age 26 are eligible for policies and services as well, extending our legacy of protection to future generations. And for those of you that are social media savvy, scan this code. You can like us, follow us, and then when we post things, repost that out there to the community so that more and more people learn about Armed Forces Mutual. We stand ready to serve you because of the dedication of 150 extraordinary Armed Forces Mutual and subsidiary employees who are true experts in ensuring the financial security and independence of the American Armed Forces community. Our entire board of directors and 1/3 of our employees are veterans or military family members. Every day we take immense pride in serving you with compassion, trust, protection, and innovation. That's why Armed Forces Mutual has been recognized by many different organizations. We're a DoD recognized military spouse employment partner, a member of the Blue Star Families 4+1 initiative, a Virginia Values Veterans employer, and Military.com recognized us as a top military spouse employer and a best for vets employer as well. And I ask all Armed Forces Mutual employees to please stand and join me in thanking them for the work that they do every day. the opportunity to update you on Armed Forces Mutual and have Mark provide the Treasurer's Report. For nearly 150 years, throughout war and peace, prosperity and hardship, we have stood by America's military families. That sacred mission continues today stronger than ever with each of you as part of our extraordinary legacy. Mr. Chairman, this concludes the President's report, which requires a motion to be adopted.
So moved.
We've had a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. The next order of business is to call up Jerry Quinn for the Secretary's report.
Thank you, Mr. President and Mr. Chairman. Each year, the board directs the convening of a nominating committee to represent the membership in nominating board members for re-election. This year, your nominating committee was Major General John Kem, United States Army retired, chairman. Brigadier General Balin Ayar, United States Air Force retired, member. Colonel Richard Lackament, Jr., United States Army retired. Gentlemen, we thank you for serving your association and the members with your time and effort. The committee nominated 3 directors for re-election to the board. Major General John Ferrari, United States Army retired, for his 2nd term. General Dennis Reimer, United States Army retired, for his 3rd term. And Lieutenant General Guy Swan, United States Army, retired, for his 2nd term. The proxies were received, they were duly counted, and they have been certified by an independent proxy service. All nominees were elected by the membership, and their terms will continue until the annual meeting in 2029. Mr. Chairman, this report requires a motion to close the nominations and ratify the election by the members.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? That, hearing the motion and closing the vote, the motion carries. Mr. Chairman, with your permission.
Yeah.
You want to close this?
Just as a reminder, directors serve without compensation and represent you, the members. We were very fortunate to have a lot of great members and also a great staff here with Army Mutual. So with that, we'll close out the meeting, and thank you, everybody.